Kate, I just want to, well, we can start by just asking, can you just briefly introduce yourself? What do you do? What do you focus on?
All right. I'm Kei Koga from the Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. I'm the associate professor teaching the international relations, basically. My expertise is the basically East Asian security and the Indo-Pacific affairs, focusing on the ASEAN, the Japan relations, and also the ASEAN and Great Power relations as well. So also I'm interested in exploring some of the alignment dynamics of the Indo-Pacific region.
Okay, so my first question is basically to get your views on ASEAN-Japan cooperation. I mean, it's a broad overview, how you think the relationship has evolved, what are particular highlights that for you in this ASEAN-Japan cooperation?
Yeah, so Japan-ASEAN relations are unique, and then now when we look at those relationships, then I could actually safely say that Japan is one of the most trusted partners of the ASEAN. And the ASEAN actually, I think Japan is the good partner in doing providing the economic development aid and also the other kind of social interaction with them. So I think, when we look at the beginning of the Japan-ASEAN relations, that was not the case. I mean, right after the World War II, Japan was very much distrusted. There are many protests and also demonstrations when the Japanese Prime Minister went to Southeast Asia in the 1970s. And then there are still the concern about Japan's role in the region. But then the 1977, when the Prime Minister Fukuda came to the Philippines and made a speech about the Japan-ASEAN relations, that is often called the Fukuda Doctrine. Then the Japan actually explicitly indicated that the Japan was not going to be the military power, and then the Japan was trying to understand facilitate the mutual understanding with the ASEAN partners, and then the Japan and the ASEAN should be the equal partner for the developing in the region. So with that, I think the Japan and the ASEAN made an effort to build the trust, and then the Japan started to listen to what is important for the Southeast Asia, and then the Japan accordingly provided those kind of economic aid because at that time Japan was the big power in the economic term, and then they afford providing some of the development aid. So in that sense, this kind of the positive trend accumulated, and then now the Japan and ASEAN were very strong partners.
Thank you very much, Kate. So one of the clear developments over the last year in particular is that Japan is now pushing to grow its engagement with ASEAN into the security sphere. Japan as a security partner, not just as a developmental partner, not just as a source of investment or capacity training. Of course, this reflects significant changes in Japan over the years on how it views national security, how it views defense, its own internal struggles with the concepts and how it executes them in foreign policy. But this is the new stage of its relationship with ASEAN. How is this being done in your view from Japan? How is Japan approaching this? And also the second part of this is, how do you think it's going to be received in Southeast Asia? What are the responses that you've seen so far?
That's actually a really good question, because definitely Japanese security policy has been changing in the past I think 2 decades or so. What Japan actually is perceiving right now is the change in the global and the regional strategic environment, particularly caused by the rise of the many kind of developing countries, especially China. And then Chinese their rise actually pose their challenges to the Japanese security in the maritime spheres, and also their development, their finance, and where Japan had been the strongest in the Asia. And now I think what happened was Japan see some of the Southeast Asian countries were actually influenced by China in sometimes it's positive way, but sometimes it's negative way. And then if that's the case, then Japan needs to actually push back some of the negative influence coming from outside in Southeast Asia. And then one of which is the maritime security, and Japan tried to provide some of the security assistance to the Southeast Asian countries. Now they can actually do bilateral because the Southeast Asian countries were concerned about their Japan's assertiveness, which may actually destabilize the region as well. So in that case, Japan was trying to reassure the Southeast Asian countries whenever they try to change their security policy. So for example, Japan actually started to talk more about Japan's security policy when the Prime Minister Abe tried to change the interpretation of the Article 9 that actually posed the constraints on the Japanese self-defense force the activities in overseas. If the Southeast Asian countries understand that, then they would go ahead. If they don't, then probably there are more kind of diplomatic interaction to persuade them. So I think this type of reassurance made it more kind of easier for Japan and ASEAN to accept Japan's new security role in the region also. I think if this trend continues in the future, maybe the Southeast Asia could accept more easily about Japan's new security role in Southeast Asia and in the Pacific. Japan recently created the scheme called the Offshore Security Assistance that actually provides some of the military equipment and then also the military training from the self-defense force. And already several Southeast Asian countries accepted this scheme, including Malaysia. So I think this is a positive trend. And then, but I don't think Japan is going to abruptly change the security policy in a way that destabilizing the region.
Okay. I think that those two questions should be enough. Okay, you answered the third question already. In the second question, I think that is it from me.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Fantastic.